flows to where it is courted, managed, and well utilized. There are underlying principles as to how to do this well. In this series of broadcasts, Sam Afemikhe unveils practical, time-tested steps to pursuing and achieving value for money with available limited resources. Sam Afemikhe is a chartered accountant and a leading value for money expert. Sam is also an author with extensive post-qualification experience in Africa and Europe. Mr. Afemikhe is the Group Managing Director of SSAC Advisory and Professionals, which has carried out several value for money reviews, audits, and value for money systems implementation in the oil and gas industry.
Welcome to Value for Money with Sam Afemikhe. Thank you for your continued engagement and feedback on my online platforms. Your comments are highly welcomed. In this episode, we will be consolidating the foundational discussions held so far that signpost the elements of value for money. This will enable us to establish a basis to move forward to practicalize how to do more with less. Resources are scarce, and as such, we have to make choices. Matching scarce resources to needs is the essence of satisfaction, happiness, and wealth creation. Value for money is obtaining maximum benefit from available resources, or put differently, spending less, spending well, and spending wisely to achieve maximum benefit. We explained that this can be made to happen through our understanding and application of the following principles. First, the program transaction logic. 2, the 3 E's, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, that are supported by the 3 pillars of 80-20 principle, measurement, and the performance measurement and benchmarking. Let us quickly review these elements. The program of transaction logic underlines all transactions that we all carry out as individuals, companies, and government, and is fundamental to understanding and evaluating value for money. The program or transaction logic must, as a necessity, have the following elements: objective, which is desired qualitative and quantitative goal; inputs, which are resources that need to be applied to achieve the objectives; activity or process, which are the actions that transform inputs into output. Processes are important in activities because they impact positively or negatively on the planned objective. Result and outcome is what we get from the activity, whilst the impact is the wider effect of the transaction on targeted beneficiaries. Transaction or program logic presents the clearest understanding of cause and effect relationship amongst input, activities, output, outcomes, and impact. It also provides the framework for planning, implementing, and monitoring and evaluating whether transactions have given best value, and if they have not, what process improvements are required to take corrective actions. The transaction logic leads us to the 3 basic elements of value for money, which are economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Economy is the practice of the virtues of thrift and good housekeeping in spending. Acquisition and use of overpriced goods, poor quality materials, and overstaffing defeat economy. Efficiency is the continuous pursuit of improved productivity. Inefficiency will be revealed by identifying the performance of work with no useful purpose, or the accumulation of surplus materials that are not needed to support operations. Effectiveness is ensuring that an activity is achieving the desired result. The 3 elements tie neatly into the pursuit of value for money in our efforts to do more with less. Economy is minimizing input costs, which is spending less. Efficiency is continuous productivity, which is spending well. And effectiveness, which is achieving results objective, is spending wisely. Economy and efficiency are achieving productivity in the use of inputs and processes, which we codified as doing things right, whilst effectiveness is doing the right things, which we codified as achieving objectives. From the above, we have come up with 3 key mantras. One is that value for money is doing more with less. Straightforward. Value for money is obtaining best value through the pursuit of economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. And thirdly, value for money is achieved through doing things right and doing the right things. Please keep these three matters in mind at all times as the underlying value for money in all perspectives. The above discussions took us to three pillars of value for money. The first is the 80-20 principle, which asserts that a minority of inputs generate majority of results. The 80-20 principle, also referred to as the vital few, is a double-edged sword with nevertheless tremendous hope to pursuit of value for money. Firstly, with 20% contributing 80% output, the principle brings home the evident truth that is a tragic amount of waste everywhere in the way that nature operates in our lives, in business, and in society. On the other hand, it reveals an interesting paradox that by using the 80-20 principle creatively, it is possible to generate enormous scope for improvement by re-engineering and redirecting both nature and our lives. We do this by understanding the 80-20 principle and practicalizing it in our lives, such as identify pattern of success and adapt accordingly. Change the way that you set your goals. Identify your strengths and comparative advantage and leverage on them. Do not be a slave to worthless activities. And above all, strengthen and sharpen your weak 80% impulse to mimic the 20% with star value by training and support. The second pillar of value for money is measurement. Measurement of results and rewarding achievements are very important in value for money because it is very easy to entirely focus on inputs and ignore results and outcomes. In this regard, value for money calls for measurement and assurance, which is knowing the level of confidence that shows that expected results are being achieved. Besides, measurement is important because what gets measured gets done. If you do not measure results, you cannot tell success from failure. If you cannot see success, you cannot reward it. If you are not rewarding success, you are probably rewarding failure, which is terrible. If you cannot see success, you cannot learn from it. Process improvement is important. If you cannot demonstrate results, above all, you cannot win public support, if that is required. The third pillar of value for money is performance measurement and benchmarking. I will define those three elements because there are three. Performance refers to useful outputs, results, and the outcomes obtained from inputs and processes. While measurement refers to numerical information that quantifies inputs, output, and performance arising from processes, products, and services. Benchmarking, on the other hand, is the process of measuring products, services, and processes against those known to be leaders or best in class. Benchmarking identifies performance gaps when gauged against comparators. Through an organization's commitment to process improvement, it closes that gap, catches up, and maybe one day can even beat the best in class. Benchmarking plays a key role in underpinning performance and attainment of results. Value for money is not guaranteed without the use of some performance measurement and benchmarking. It is therefore important that we all, as individuals, private and public organizations, embrace the benchmarking bandwagon to improve processes, enhance productivity, and obtain value for money in utilization of scarce resources. According to the Chinese proverb, the end of a 1,000-mile journey is the first step taken. Finally, value for money is about obtaining the maximum benefit over time with the resources available. It is about achieving the right balance between economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, or as we have defined them to be, spending less, spending well, and spending wisely to achieve priorities. In this regard, we should all think and act entrepreneurially. As the French economist J.B.C. wrote in 1800, the entrepreneur shifts economic resources out of an area of low productivity into an area of higher productivity and greater yield. An entrepreneur, in other words, uses resources in new ways to maximize productivity and effectiveness to achieve best results. You too can be entrepreneurial by embracing value for money principles and do more with less by doing things right and doing the right things. Yes, you can if you apply the value for money principles. Please do watch out for the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Value for Money with Sam Afemikhe. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Value for Money TV, and connect with Sam Afemikhe on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Direct all inquiries to info@samafemikhe.com or +234 818 492 2710.